Trump was standing in the shower and fell over dead, that Trump slumped over in the Oval Office and died, that Trump fell down the stairs and died, that Trump on the back nine fell over and died.
I'm sorry, what? Are those options you're giving us or just predictions? Don't tease us with a good time, conservative strategist Rick Wilson. I have definitely been seeing this picture bounce around the internet a lot of late, and people want to know, when will Trump die? Well, I'm not a doctor, and my crystal ball is in the shop. But Rick Wilson got the attention of MAGA World today with his bold declaration that Trump is dying and JD Vance is moving quickly to fill his shoes once Trump is gone. So hit subscribe to Really American Media, and I'll lay it all out for you. And it certainly does seem like JD Vance has been in the news a lot recently. He even said yesterday that he's ready to be president, if Trump happens to die.
Are you ready to assume the role of commander-in-chief, and why should Americans trust you to lead the country?
Well, I've gotten a lot of good on-the-job training over the last 200 days, but also say that the president is in incredibly good health. He's got incredible energy. Yes, things can always happen. Yes, terrible tragedies happen, but I feel very confident the president of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days.
Yeah, and today on the Lincoln Project podcast that Rick Wilson hosts, he started to lay out his case about the demise of Trump and the rise of Vance.
First part of this is, you have all seen the obvious signs of Trump's mental and physical decline. These aren't negotiable. These aren't debatable. These aren't hypothetical. They're real. You have seen the giant cankles that Trump is rocking from the edema that's in his body. You have seen his inability to stay on task or on target while he's speaking.
Like everything else, grass has a life. Do you know that? Grass has a life. We have a life and grass has a life. Look at these people here. Nothing, They were like Rambos. It's like putting 1,000,000 Rambos. Good old Sylvester Stallone is my friend. I will use Title 42 to end the trial, and we have to do this. Oh, there it is. I was looking at me. I started looking at me, and I'm looking. I do not like I don't like my hair tonight. Okay?
Yeah, it's been hard not to notice that Trump is losing his marbles and that nobody in the media is really talking about it nearly as much as they talked about Biden's mental health. But in fairness, some are looking into it, and Nicole Wallace shared some of that on her show this week.
The New York Times did a comprehensive analysis of Donald Trump's public appearances and how they have deteriorated and morphed over time. They found this, quote, signs of change since Trump first took the political stage in 2015. Quote, he has always been discursive and has often been untethered to truth, but with the passage of time, his speeches have grown darker, harsher, longer, angrier, less focused, more profane, and increasingly fixated on the past. Quote, Donald Trump rambles. He repeats himself. He roams from thought to thought, some of them hard to understand, some of them unfinished, some of them factually fantastical. He voices outlandish claims that seem to be made up out of whole cloth. He digresses into bizarre tangents about golf, about sharks, about his own beautiful body.
And getting back to Rick Wilson, he's pointing out what a lot of us have been seeing with our own two eyes.
Trump's an old, obese guy. And he's lost some weight in the last year. I don't think that's a deliberate vanity. I think that's something wrong with him physically. But Trump is not well. He is physically unwell. He's dragging that leg behind him. You've seen the bruising on his hands from whatever the treatment that they're giving him. The anodyne bullshit they released from the White House. He has venous insufficiency in his legs. And not one reporter who screamed and jumped up and down about Joe Biden is old and Joe Biden is this and Joe Biden is that. Not one reporter has gone and dug into this story to go get it. But Trump is not well, and you know it. He's sick. Something's broken. Something ain't right.
Yeah, something ain't right is definitely right. Also bad grammar. Yeah, the White House actually tried to say this week that the bruising on his hand is from shaking too many other hands, ignoring the fact that he's got bruises on both of his hands now, and I don't know anybody that shakes with both hands. Even lefties only shake with their right hand. So That's obviously garbage. And I recently interviewed a doctor that pointed out that you can get bruises like that from blood thinners, as they have claimed, but not from aspirin like Trump is admitted to taking for blood thinning purposes. The only kind of blood thinners that cause bruising like that are the more serious kind that you would only take if something more serious is actually going on.
You know, he's got trouble. Even Trump's own statements are like, I want to go to heaven.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, now when that clip right there first came out, a lot of us, like me, assumed that Trump meant that he was at the bottom of the totem pole, politically speaking, and might go to hell because he's, evil and a terrible president. But I'm starting to wonder if the doctors told him that his health is really not doing well, and that is why Trump is now thinking about, gee, I'd like to get into heaven.
If you were not paying attention to this, you were doing yourself and the country a disservice. When Donald Trump dies, whether that's tomorrow or 20 years from now, you will look back on this moment and you will know you were lied to.
Oh, we're definitely being lied to. That seems obvious and would be nothing new. But it's a safe bet that JD Vance knows the truth. And that's why we're seeing an awful lot of him lately.
It is because inside Trump's circle, inside the family and the loyalists, they're watching JD Vance walk out further and further and further in front. They're watching him do more interviews. They're watching him do more direct engagements with other cabinet members. They're watching him start to place himself in the MAGA space as Trump's successor. Just because he's VP, by the way, did not mean he is the natural successor to Trump. He is right now posturing very quickly. And if you don't understand why Elon Musk and Peter Thiel are Vance's biggest backers, and why Elon Musk abandoned his third-party bid so he could back JD Vance, it's because they know Trump's not going to be there.
Yeah, that does all make sense, especially the part about Elon Musk dropping his new third party mysteriously, since he knows that Vance would never run as anything but a Republican for fear of losing his base and splitting the vote. And he would be right. And it also makes sense as to why JD has been taking casual strolls with other members of the Cult 47 inner circle.
Why did Vance go to Union Station with Stephen Miller and Pete Hegseth?
And then Rick wraps up his Trump is dying and JD is lying little monologue there with these rather ominous words.
That's the other reason why they're trying to cover this thing up. Because, man, if JD Vance becomes the thing Rupert likes, if he becomes MAGA enough for Putin, which he's really working hard on this week, if he becomes more out front on the cruelty of the immigration shit and the craziness of the anti-vax stuff from RFK and all these other things, if he does that, even if Trump lives, he starts to lose power. Vance has got more energy, Donald. And I know that's tough for you to believe, but that's the third reason why this is concerning to Trump and why they're trying to cover this up. Because if I may quote a famous piece of poetry the president is very fond of, you know that JD was a snake before you took him in.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake.
I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious.
She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite.
Fellow Christians, everyone is watching us when we apologize for this, Matt. Lord, help us.
I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens why?
That he was fundamentally divisive, arrogant.
You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die.
He's leading our political discourse to a very negative place.
Oh, shut up, silly woman said the reptile with a grin.
Might be America's Hitler, might be a cynical a-hole.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
Yeah, it's safe to say there's more going on here than meets the eye. And I've already made my prediction that Trump will die of natural causes in the year 2026. But it does seem like JD knows something the rest of us don't. And maybe he knows that Trump will die sooner than that. I don't know. Literally, who could? But what I do know is that we'll cover it all right here. So please like this video, comment below, and get vocal. From the Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve podcast, I'm Steve Harness for Really American Media.